The typical value is a dollar estimate of the value of houses or units in a suburb. It answers the question, how much would I typically have to pay to buy a house or to buy a unit in this suburb? The typical value, or TV as I like to abbreviate it, is different to the median value for a suburb. The median is simply the middle figure. So if a data provider publishes a median sale price for, say, January of $500,000, that figure cannot take advantage of anything else we might know about the suburb, about the properties, perhaps that sold late last month. The variation in property types is another thing to consider, the history we know about that suburb. As soon as you use the word median, it means middle figure, and that limits how effective it can be. Taking the middle figure from a set of recent sales is far too simplistic an approach, and it can be very misleading in many cases. The inaccuracy of the median all stems from the wide variety of property types, property qualities, property positions, all in the same suburb. For example, there could be some streets that are more expensive than others, some properties in the same street that are much nicer than others. And because properties aren't selling all the time, there is a very small number of sales each month. Often less than 1% of all properties in the suburb sell in each month. So can we really take the middle figure from 1% of all properties and assume that figure is representative of the remaining 99%? Not really. Even if 10% of properties sold every month, they would probably still fall short of a wide enough cross-section of the suburb's real estate to come up with a genuinely representative figure. And that means, from month to month, the median is quite unreliable. For example, if only the cheap properties sell for the most recent month, then the median would be low. Next month, it could so happen that only a couple of expensive properties sell, and that would make the median suddenly jump up from last month. But it doesn't mean capital growth, because the following month, the median could drop again, depending on what subset of that market happens to sell the next month. So the median is quite often an inaccurate estimate of the value of properties. This is at the suburb level. Now, it's not so bad over larger geographies. The national median, for example, is very reliable. Even medians at the local government area are quite reliable, but at the suburb level, they're often unreliable. And splitting a suburb up into houses and units to come up with separate figures for each makes it even worse. And drilling down to different values for 4-bedroom houses versus 3-bedroom houses, well, the median can get truly ridiculous in those cases. The typical value attempts to improve on the median by using a set of clever tricks. Now, I won't delve into the precise details because we can't have the copycats learning of it, and anyway, it gets too complicated. All you need to know is that the TV is like a median value, but more reliable. Now, even with all the clever tricks of the TV, there are always going to be some markets that are a problem to estimate value. They may be infrequently traded, perhaps with a wide variety of different properties, so that even the TV cannot accurately estimate them. A telltale sign of an unreliable TV is volatility seen in the TV's historical chart. If the historical chart for the TV shows wild swings up and down from month to month, then this is a sign of a market for which sales data is unreliable. So the historical chart is something you might like to get into the habit of consulting for volatility checks. And you can also check the statistical reliability for the market that you're examining. It's a metric I'll discuss in another video. The statistical reliability will also give you a heads up to whether you can trust the TV. Now, as with all statistics, you can't trust any single one in isolation, and the TV is no different, but at least it's better than the median.